Okay, I'm going to do a quick review of the Magpul MOE K2 Plus grip. I want you to go back and take a look at a previous review I did where I tried to compare all of the Magpul grips side by side. And in that video I did the K2 grip. I covered that extensively. This is the K2 Plus. This is basically the same except this has a rubber overmolding. And in the previous video I did, I really like the rubber overmolded Mo Plus grip. The rubber overmolding is very grippy or sticky, whatever you want to refer to that. And at that time I wasn't able to get a hold of a K2 Plus. They were either not available yet or they were out of stock or something. But I picked up one of these this time around for my AR15 pistol build. And when I'm done talking about this grip, I'm going to install it on my newest AR15 pistol build that I'm still working on. So anyway, this is how the grip ships. It's the standard Magpul box, the POP hang box. Won't spend much time on that. Ships, of course, in the plastic bag, nothing else in the box. And if we get it out of the bag, you can see that it really doesn't look much different than the standard Magpul K2 grip, except that this one has the rubber overmolding on it. So it is, let's go over some of the highlights. The K2 Plus is one-piece design. It has the wraparound rubber overmolding. It has a more vertical grip angle than standard grips or the other line of Mo grips. And this is optimized for PDWs or short length of pull weapons. It has a unique backstrap design for proper trigger finger placement. The bottom of the grip has a hard polymer bottom edge to reduce equipment snags and damage. This also accepts all of the standard Magpul grip cores, although it doesn't ship with a grip core. It ships with a grip plug. Like pretty much all of their grips ship with a grip plug, except for the MIAD 1.1, which actually ships with a core that has a oil bottle. The weight of this is 3.1 ounces. The height is 4.1 inches. The thickness is 1.2 inches. And if we get a closer view of this, it's really not going to look much different than the other K2. You've got the rubber overmolding all up in this area, all down here, and like I mentioned, the bottom is a hard polymer. And that actually, so the rubber goes right down to there, and if you can see the line, you can see where the rubber molding stops and the hard polymer bottom starts. It's flush. There's no ridge right there or anything. And then, of course, the grip core. Well, the grip plug, not really a core, but that's where the core would go. Take it off camera to remove the grip plug. So nothing special there with the grip plug. Inside is a single, it's a combo screw. You can see it has a really flat head. I'll talk about that in a minute. It is a combo screw that will accept a flat blade screwdriver or a hex wrench. And I believe it's the standard size hex wrench. I'm trying a 4.5 millimeter, which will work on this. So that's more or less what this ships with. If you ever get a chance to hold one of these in your hand, I find they're really grippy. In damp and wet environments, if you're doing a run and gun outside, your hand really isn't going to slip around on this. Not to say that your hand's going to slip around on their standard polymer grips either, because of the extensive texturing they have on there. Your hand pretty much stays in place. But and then of course it's kind of a moot point if you're wearing gloves. But I like the feel of this, and of course on my AR-15 pistol I wanted to go with the grip that was more aggressively designed for PDW type weapons. So that's the build construction of this. Like all the Magpul products, excellent. I don't see any flaws in it. There's no extra plastic. It's just a very well made product. And these ones, this K2 Plus isn't really one of the grips that you'll find on the market heavily discounted at this point. So figure you're going to pay $17 to $20, give or take, somewhere in that price range for this. I think it's money well spent, considering the fact that it has the rubber overmolding and it has the grip plug, which you can use to just stuff some things in there, or you can buy one of their additional grip cores. And the grip cores you can get them for CR123 batteries, AA batteries. You can get the little grip core with the oil bottle, and I'm not sure if that's all of them. There might be one more that can't think of off the top of my head, but those run roughly around $10, give or take. So you can customize the grip with a core of your choice, which is really nice. And I've used a lot of Magpul grips on a lot of different rifles. They've never let me down. And I've dropped rifles climbing up a tree, and it dropped it right on the grip, and the grips withstood the drop, and very durable. So moving on. The main purpose of this video was to get this installed on the AR-15 pistol build. If you recall, in the previous build video I was working on, I installed a Magpul MyAd 1.1, and with the grip trigger screw adjuster that I was using, it doesn't allow the grip core with the oil bottle to fully seat, which it's unfortunate. But again, coming back to Magpul's screw, there's a reason they ship this with this flathead screw versus one of the more conventional ones with a big head on it, and that is probably twofold. It's one, so they can meet a military requirement of making the screw installable with a flat blade screwdriver. I believe that's one of the requirements. But if you notice the height difference on these two heads, and I'm sure that in their testing, using a conventional large screw head like this, they found that there were clearance issues. So they went with a flatter head, and these flat heads clear all of their grip core inserts. So I've got to get the detent pin and the spring. Back installed. Okay. We've got our safety selector lever spring and the detent. And I'm going to have to take this off camera just a bit. I'm afraid I'm going to knock over my tripod if I'm not careful. And you've already seen me go through this routine here numerous times. Okay, right off the bat, I'll get this back in camera here. If you recall on the previous video when I was working on this, the MyAd fit very tight. You could put it on and it would basically stay in place. Now the K2 here it's not staying in place. It's a looser tolerance on this particular grip. So I'm going to actually have to hold this down to make sure that the spring is on the detent while I get the screw started. So again, off camera again, I do apologize about that. Gotta either need 3 hands or you gotta kind of use your lap as some leverage, and that seems to happen quite often. Maybe I ought to get another camera and just focus it on my lap. Okay, I went ahead and did this off camera, saved some viewing time. Again, aside from the little bit of a loose fit, the grip went on just fine. Kind of had to hold it in my lap, get a little leverage so I could get the safety selector, detent, and spring installed and lined up correctly so I don't get a bend in the spring. And then got the grip screw lined up and installed. I also readjusted the inner screw to control the trigger slack. You have to end up doing that sometimes when you swap out grips because of the different thicknesses of the inner plastic of the grip. You can't just swap. Sometimes you just can't swap from one grip to the other and without adjusting your trigger grip screw. And that's the screw inside of a screw that controls the trigger slack. And of course verified that the safe and fire selector worked just fine. So that's the installation of the Magpul K2 Plus grip on this AR15 pistol build. Feels good so far. Won't know for sure obviously until I get this finished and get the upper receiver and get it down to the range and do some test firing.